And I mean, I said it online, I'll say it again. He wasn't conditioned enough to win any pose.
Yeah.
What's up guys and welcome. You're watching Fazi Fitness. So I have to say almost everyone expected a response from Rafael Brandao and the Brazilian fans as well after Tonio Burton did that interview with Muscle Discord. But honestly I have to say I did not expect the response to be so quick. So I woke up and saw these fireworks from both sides. First it was Rafael Brandao basically responding to every point that Tonio Burton made in the context of the Arnold Classic South America. Specifically this direct shot at Rafael Brandao, that he wasn't conditioned enough to win any of the poses. And Brandao responding back with this one, that it isn't his fault, that even the best of Tonio Burton isn't good enough to beat him. And then it was Tonio Burton with another befitting response. Now, all in all, I think that is so good for the sport of bodybuilding. It shouldn't be all lovey-dovey. There should be rivalries. There should be guys who do not like each other. As long as there are no personal attacks from the either side. Because guess what? Now we have another great storyline going into this year's Mr. Olympia 2024, as both these guys thought that they were better and they deserved to win. So the rematch that we're gonna see at Mr. Olympia between Tonio Burton and Rafael Brandao, that is gonna be really engaging. And we already saw at this year's Arnold Brazil stage and how physical all these guys were getting, especially when they were hitting that back double bicep shot. And the great thing about all three of these guys was this. None of them backed down. Even Good Vito, who was making his pro debut, even he did not back down. And there should be more of this on the stage, because this creates so much hype. This brings a lot of engagement. And we have to keep in mind, these characters make the sport bigger. So my stance on this, that is pretty clear. The judges made the call, and according to them, Rafael Brandao won. And that too pretty handedly. But one thing I want to add here is that the judging criteria should remain the same. It shouldn't change from one show to the next. Or it shouldn't change from the first call out to the second call out. The judging criteria should not be dependent on the state of the mind or temper of the judge.
If you had someone like Steve or Tyler judging,
Yes.
he's not making a call out with that conditioning.
No.
And then to even speak on his glutes, if you've seen the stream, he has lumps in his glutes. So that's why when I seen the scorecards, it was just kind of like, yo, he smoked me that bad with all that going on. I shouldn't compete. And, and it took, for my woman and even, my coach and everything.
Now, all those things that Tonio Burton mentioned about the backstage treatment, about the Arnold Classic management, and how Rafael Brandao was given special VIP treatment, while all the other athletes were treated unfairly. If that is in fact true, then that should be investigated and should not be tolerated at all. I mean, they pushed an athlete like Tonio Burton up to a point where he said no American should compete in Brazil as long as there is a Brazilian competitor doing their show. So once again, if you guys want to understand every point that Rafael Brandao responded to, then you guys should definitely check out the entire interview on that Muscle Discord channel. I'll put the link in the first comment. So Tonio Burton is obviously going to qualify for the Olympia 2024. And I think he's going to do California Pro, which is scheduled just 1 week after the New York Pro. Because as beautiful and as aesthetic physique Tonio Burton has, he is no match for a guy like Nick Fokker. Nick Fokker has got so much muscle and I don't think he is gonna leave the door open for anyone. And even in comparison to a guy like Rafael Brandao, Nick Fokker is on a different level. So beating him is kinda out of question. So talking about this upcoming New York Pro, the mutant Nick Fokker published another physique update. And Nick Fokker is one of those guys who probably grew faster than anyone, especially in this current era, and in the current roster of the IFBB Professional League, after making his professional debut at Chicago Pro, which was back in 2020. But I have to say at the same time, he really tried to make his waist more streamlined, and he has been trying to get better and better since the Olympia 2022. And I have to say the way he poses, the way he presents his physique, he has done a superb job in that department. And yes, Samson Dauda also put on a lot of size, especially in the last couple of years, when he turned pro and started competing in the pro ranks before Nick. So let's give the credit where it's due, because a lot of people thought that Nick Fokker's waistline is gonna be a huge problem. Everyone thought that his waistline is gonna get bigger, it's gonna blow out. Especially the way he was growing, especially the way he was getting bigger. But he proved everyone wrong. So Nick Fokker is really confident that he's gonna be fighting for the Olympia title this year in October. And he has put it out there in public multiple times. And just because the fans weren't able to see him compete at the Olympia stage last year, the comeback is gonna be something else. This comeback is gonna be so exciting. It is probably one of the biggest storylines going into this year's Mr. Olympia. So, the New York Pro 2021 was Nick Walker's second only pro show, where he was able to beat Justin Rodriguez and some other guys as well. And Nick Walker hasn't looked back ever since. He won the Arnold Classic that same year, and then he placed top 5 at his Olympia debut. So his return to the stage in 2024, that is gonna be one of the most anticipated events in the recent times in bodybuilding. So Detroit Pro is now just a few days out, and let's take a look at some of those updates. So the Arnold Classic Brazil was the first show of good Vito with Chris Aceto, and boy, he did not disappoint at all. Vito had the most straight hamstrings, the most straight glutes in Brazil, and hopefully this upcoming package in Detroit, that will be even better. He has made some tremendous improvements in terms of how he hits the poses, but there is still a lot of room for improvement, and if he can fix that more, he will be so much more dangerous. So Vito overall was very well conditioned. The guy is only 25 years old. So you can see the lack of density and the muscle maturity in certain areas, specifically when he does these side chops. But he is right on the track to be a very big name in the men's open bodybuilding in the future. So the question is, can he win in Detroit? Absolutely he can. I think all three of these guys, Justin, Vito and Martin, they have a fair chance of winning this show. In Brazil we only had one tall guy, Rafael Brandao, who stood out because of his size and aesthetics. But here we have Martin-Fitzwater and good Vito. Both of these guys have kinda similar heights. On top of that, both these guys have a great vacuum as well. So this is gonna be an insane battle, unless Justin Rodriguez comes in better than ever, better than what we are expecting from him, and he just steals the show. So Martin-Fitzwater was extremely impressive in 2022, but more overall size will be expected of him as he's coming back after 1.5 years. So if we are putting money on who is most probably gonna win Detroit, I have to say that is Martin. He is the most complete guy, and that too in every aspect. His ability to come in shredded and peel to the bone, front to back, that is next level. So this is Martin's first show after taking that break, after 1.5 years. And with the new coach Stefan. But we have seen in the past that Stefan is quite good in picking different athletes to perfection, and his ability to bring all these guys shredded to the bone. Now, that being said, I don't think Justin Rodriguez will get a better opportunity than Detroit to prove that he has still got it to get his Olympia qualification. I mean, he is the only Olympian in that lineup, and he has placed as high as top 8 in the world. But yes, I agree that times have obviously changed, but this is such a great opportunity for Justin to win the show and get his Olympia qualification. So Justin wasn't able to qualify for the Olympia last year. He got beat by Charles Griffin and John Jewett at Legion Sports 2023. And for the Olympia 2022, he qualified on points and he lost that same show Legion Sports to Tonio Burton. So Justin has been basically struggling to find his peak. And this has been the case since the early 2022. So do you guys think Justin can pull it off? Can he win? Or who do you guys think will come out ahead and get the Olympia qualification? Also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.